All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Throwdown. Yay! Yeah, we're back, and we are better than ever. Maybe not, but someone here is wearing sunglasses. Someone's got a DuckTales shirt on here, and I am the Duffster. And we are here to discuss our favorite stand-up comedian, somebody that makes us laugh. I know, everybody seems to have a little bit different sense of humor, somebody that really gets them going, per se. And we all, I think, have our own, and we're going to discuss those a little today. So before I get into that, I'm going to actually start a little timer here, or I'm going to have my friends call me Mr. Cast, comma, so no one calls me Mr. Cast, start a timer for me for 5 minutes. And all right, I'm gonna hit the gong if you wouldn't mind starting that timer for me. All right, and I'm going to throw it over to, let's see, your name is Mr. Scales. Who is your favorite stand-up comedian?
Easy.
Ooh, easy.
Some may know him as MC Gusto from the hit movie CB4. Maybe you know him as Rufus, the 13th Apostle from Dogma. Or maybe you just know him as a dude who can take a hell of a slap and still take it from Will Smith. Chris Rock, my favorite comedian of all time. Seen Chris Rock live, loved him in 2004. 1999, Bigger and Blacker. That was the first one that I watched, and I think I maybe downloaded it and listened to it. Chris Rock just does it for me. Love his humor. His vulgarity is, it's not over the top, but it's good enough. That Bigger and Blacker, I was watching it a couple of nights ago to refresh my memory, and the one skit that always kills me is he gets into talking about sicknesses and people can't get cured of things, and Christopher Reeves can't walk, Superman can't walk. What kind of shit is that? What's next? Aquaman gonna drown in the tub? Come on. Chris Rock, just my all-time favorite.
Good choice. Yeah, I still have to say, even though he's a very funny man, he held himself together with that Will Smith incident. I give him so much credit, because that is not an easy situation. Yeah. And now he's probably even more famous for it and even more beloved for all
I agree.
All right, my friends call me Mr. Cast, comma, so no one calls me Mr. Cast. What's your choice?
My favorite stand-up is Rodney Dangerfield.
Ooh.
If ever I'm in a bad mood, feeling a little down, I pull up some Rodney stand-up on YouTube, and he cracks me up. The whole thing, just like, I'll give the line all the time, I tell you I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape, like the whole thing, the face, the adjusting the tie, the whole shtick, and it's like everything only works because it's him. Like the jokes are, they're funny, but like they could almost be hacky now because they're seen as a little bit quaint. But when you're watching him and the whole thing that goes along with it, when he says a joke like, he was boy, I was ugly when I was a kid. I couldn't play in the sandbox. They kept trying to cover me up, or the cat kept trying to cover him up in the sandbox. It's like because he looks like a piece of shit. Or like, he opens up the door on Halloween and the kids give him candy. Like all you have to do is like, even if he's talking about being a kid, you picture like a miniature Rodney Dangerfield looking exactly like he does now, but like going through all the crap, getting no respect is.
That's his famous line. I don't get no respect.
Yeah, that and Dr. Vinny Bombats.
Well, Tutsurutsky.
Oh yeah,
a lot.
He's half browser. Don't forget. On his mother's side.
Excellent choice. That's one. I have to listen to some of his stand-up. That's one thing I've never done of his. That really? I never even thought to do that, but I'm going to absolutely do that. Listen to some of it. I got to do that.
My dad's a big fan of his stand-up, so yeah, he sent me some clips. So
okay. I will do that. I'm gonna go a little bit more in another direction here. Can be very vulgar at times, but I think he is a master of comedy. Unfortunately, not with us anymore. I am talking about the conductor at Shining Time Station, Mr. George Carlin himself. Nice. One of the funniest guys I think I've ever seen. no one was safe. He would make fun of everything. Nothing was politically correct for this man. If something was stupid or something didn't make sense in the world, he was going to pick fun at it and point at it. And I just loved that about him. I loved his way of utilizing and making fun of the English language. I know, over the years, we've made fun of each other for little things that we say based on, where we grew up. And that's exactly what he would do. He'd pick fun at certain things and, one thing, an example, the stewardess, she's telling me, okay, why don't you go ahead, get on the plane. He's like, screw you, lady. I'm not getting on the plane. I'm getting in the plane. And, stupid stuff like that, which
free boarding.
I just love. Yeah. Just poking fun of people's bumper stickers that he sees. This car climbed Mount Washington. I don't care. Stupid stuff like that. And I don't know, he's just hilarious. And I mean, just the length of his career too, from the 50s all the way into basically when he died in 2008. Very, very diverse, but also he just had no boundaries, and he would just poke fun at anything that he thought was funny. And I just always appreciated that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my choice. All right, I think we got their 5 minutes up here. So why don't we put if you wouldn't mind, my friends call me Mr. Cast, so no one calls me Mr. Cast. Would you mind? Yeah, let's do 3 minutes here, and let's do a little round table discussion and talk about our choices, your feelings, what you had for dinner, whatever you guys want to talk about. Let's go backwards. Mr. Cast, what do you got?
So George Carlin is a great pick. And he saw it kind of as his duty and a comic's duty to disrupt things, because he could have had a career just not eking out, but making a living just doing clean, run-of-the-mill comedy. And he made a conscious decision to go against that. Both you guys picked social critics, because Chris Rock, it might not be as obvious a social critic, but it's woven into his comedy a little more. George Carlin was really just taking shots at society the whole time and making people laugh about it. Chris Rock is making people laugh while taking shots at society. The Chris Rock thing that gets me every time is when he's talking about Michael Jackson showing up late to court dressed like Captain Crunch. Oh my god. I've seen that that special a few times. I had forgotten about it, and that line killed me. I was like pissing myself. Got to give Gilbert a shout out. Once again, Gilbert Gottfried died. I like him more just for his general approach than as a stand-up, but he wasn't
not for the Aflac duck, right?
Hey, he was great. And as we mentioned in a previous episode, Robin Williams, another great one. And I could happily say I got to see him live.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's cool.
And last one, I'm not going to be able to go into him, but Bill Maher. I've seen him live a bunch of times. You guys know I love Bill Maher. He's fucking hilarious. He's just...
There's so many other ones we could talk about, but we only have so much time. Yep. Scales, any final closing words here?
Yeah, my first introduction to Rodney Dangerfield, the movie Ladybugs. I know you guys, it's a cult classic from our childhood. Didn't really know much about him. And then later on, my cousin Eddie told me about the movie Easy Money, which I was referencing earlier. I've never watched any of George Carlin. I've seen clips here and there, but never sat down through a whole stand-up show, and I'm going to do that. Like I said, Rodney Dangerfield, my dad loves his stand-up, so he sometimes sends me stuff on Facebook to watch. Just great, both great picks. And my honorable mention would probably be Martin Lawrence. Tony got me into some of his stand-up stuff from the 90s, and then he had one in the early 2000s there called Run Tell That, which is pretty hysterical, one of my all-time favorites. So those are my two guys, Chris Rock and Martin Lawrence.
Nice choices.
Yeah.
Nice choices. Yeah, I mean, Rodney's just freaking hilarious. Caddyshack, Back to School is another classic one that he was in. And, just, again, I know him more from his movies. I still can't believe I've just never listened to his stand-up, so I have to do that, making that a necessity. See, I'm getting all hot and bothered here.
When we sign off tonight, go just look up his older appearances.
Absolutely. I definitely will. And a couple honorable mentions myself too, more of just like the dry, like one little liner kind of comedians. Cast, I know I saw one with you, I think at Fairfield U. We saw him do stand up. Drawing a blank on his name right now.
Stephen Wright,
yes. I think he is hilarious.
Yeah.
Quick little, just like one liner type things. that I just love. And someone very similar to him, newer to today, but he also another one that just died too young. Mitch Hedberg. I don't know if you guys know him. Same type of humor.
I used to do a lot of drugs. I still do a lot of drugs, but I used to too.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, McDonald's, they should do like a special promo where, you know, some of them only give out spaghetti or something. I don't, you know, it's just like, it's really stupid stuff, but I like that kind of humor. It's funny. But yeah, that's, I think that's all we got for today, guys. You got anything else? I think we kind of covered what we could in the time.
Chris Rock had it right. We need bullet control. $5,000 a bullet. There would be no more innocent bystanders. And people would really think about what they're doing before they shot again.
Yeah.
He's on to something there. All right, guys. Another fun episode here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and listening. Why don't you tell us, you know, follow along, put it in the comments, send us an email on one of our social media platforms. Let us know who your favorite comedian is. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Do you like the way Mr. Cass's sunglasses are shining? Let us know. Tell us. We want to know. We want your input. And again, follow us on all forms of our social media, on our TikTok and our Instagram. We listen to us on our Spotify and Apple podcast here, the same thing that I convert and do all that rigmarole for that. And yeah, if you have any ideas for any upcoming episodes, send us a message. Let us know. We want to hear from you guys. But until then, we will be getting going for the night, and we'll see you again sometime soon.
Later, folks.
See ya.
Bye.
Coke is my favorite because